All right, so I wanted to show you guys how we prep the drain to make sure that we have the proper height, because our shower pan that we're using is the SCHLUTER. It's pre-sloping, and then the one we bought was an oversized. It was a 48 by 72 pan. So I had our plumber, again, center the drain, and they left us excess pipe, which we had to cut. So he had a little bit too much pipe. So I used our pipe cutter, our circular bit. I cut it down. I'm gonna sand the drain and get it ready. So after we set our pan with thin set, I'll show you. So this female end sits down, and then we'll glue this in with ABS glue. But to make sure that we have it at the right height, so that's perfectly flush now with the drain. And these spacers indicate the proper height off of the concrete that this pan has to sit. So there's, with this drain flange has to sit. So there are, I'll show you with the pan, it comes with a foam liner, and we thin set this down and then put our waterproofing membrane on top. But this is how we preset it. So everything's cut, it's ready to go. And when we filled this with deck mud, because this was a big hole prior, we used some foam. We wrapped it around the drain line, and then we were able to just pull this out, and we have our perfectly exposed drain rough end, so that we can again preset this. But this is the most important step, because this has to be, when we have this set down, it's got to be flush with our substrate, which is concrete here. And then when we set this drain, we always check to make sure that it's perfectly level. So this drain, yeah, it needs to come up just maybe an 1/8 inch, but that's completely fine, because once we set this in here, it'll have thin set and our bubble's in good shape. So it looks perfect to me. Level, good to go. Let me show you the shower pan so you can see exactly what I did to prepare for the installation of this. So since this is a curbed shower, we did it a little bit different than a normal approach. So I trimmed up this pan, and I probably could have done a smaller pan. We initially were going to go a lot bigger, but if you keep in mind, we're going to have deck mud here sloping down about 12 inches so that they can use the shower if they ever needed to with the wheelchair. But we've got the drain ready to go. Show you what that looks like here. So I'll probably need to trim the pan just a little bit to get this set in the center. So I'll trim this backside off, maybe a 1/2 inch, slide it back so that it's not hitting the lip. And it'll sit, we want this to be centered. So it's actually good that I dry fit it. So it's off about 1 inch. So I need to trim this back corner just a little bit, like I said. And then we'll be able to sit it flush, so that's sitting on top of this foam insert, and then that'll all get thin set down. And then again, the bands, the Kerdi bands, will go all the way around the perimeter to seal that gap between the wall and the pan. So we'll do a nice band, all the corners, and any corners that meet, we have to overlap 2 inches. So you'll notice when we install this, this will wrap around like so, and then we'll have that vertical band and then another band running this way. So as long as you have 2 inches of overlap, that's the guarantee from SCHLUTER that there will not be any leaks. So again, this is it's going to go pretty sweet. And then let me show you the inside corner. But these are the inside corners, so we'll actually probably use this first. So that'll go right there, and that'll seal up that corner. And then we'll have the band overlapping that by 2 inches. So that will overlap and then seal that corner. We'll have the vertical band overlapping it right to there. And we'll have this band running that way. So that'll seal that corner 100%. And then, yeah, should be good to tile it tomorrow after we get it prepped. Good. So that's in, now that's inside. Let's set this pan first and then thin set this down. It'll all be sloping to the drain. So we got knee pads. It's important because if you sit with your knee on this board, it will actually dent. So we cover this up, but with knee pads, it's okay. So we're gonna get the drain set right now. Spacers in that. So it has we have our base. Just like that. Okay. So that's good. We're gonna take our primer. Now, I usually prime, so this is just a liquid primer. And then I just usually prime the inside around the ring of the drain. We'll throw our cement in here, but first I'm going to put thin set. I'm gonna put a lot of thin set here because this is what's going to bond our drain. Okay, that should be good. Again, I can clean it up after. So we got the primer on. Now cement in here. Okay, get it on. Got a nice coat in there. Now I'm going to seat it down, and as I'm going to twist and push. You know what? That should be good. As long as I see thin set popping out of the joints, I could have done even a little bit more thin set, but we're gonna have a good So I have good bond in there, almost no gap. Okay, now that's seated. Okay, so and then I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do next. Next is apply thin set here. And again, I already checked my drain. I know that the drain's in perfect position. Now this thin set is slightly wetter than what it would be if we were to install tile, which is perfect for the membrane. Okay. Just want to make sure we got it all the way around. Should be good. Take our ring, and this is going to seal up the drain. It's going to go right like that. Right in the center. So I'll usually just push it down first. The hand. There it is. No bubbles. Nice and sealed. So the drain will sit in here, but we're connected. We'll test this after we're done waterproofing the walls. We can fill this up with water and make sure it holds. But I'm not worried about, again, this, because this is a ramped shower. Once this dries, we can tile right up to it and put our drain in here, and we'll be good to go.